He acted very, very calm throughout the whole of the evidence session. It went on for some 5 or 6 hours. He was forensically grilled by Hugo Keith QC, who was there to question him every step of the way. He got there very, very early in the morning, about 10 to 7, having about 3 hours preparation before the interrogation started. And he's very, very quick to get the apology in, actually. Boris Johnson wanted to say he was sorry to the families and the victims of those caught up in the COVID inquiry, and he said he was sorry for the pain that had been caused. So that was the very, very first thing that Boris Johnson got out there. But he was heckled during that apology. The chairwoman, Baroness Hallet, had to get involved, and actually four protesters, were removed from the inquiry.
Please sit down, or I'm afraid you'll have to leave the hearing room. I'm sorry, if you don't sit down, I'm going to ask the ushers to get you to leave. Right, ushers, please, could you ask them to leave?
I think he handled it in the circumstances as well as he could have done. I think his tactic from the very, very start was not to get riled by either the people in the room with all the commotion going on, or by the lead lawyer for the inquiry. He came under a bit of pressure early on when he was talking about that very first lockdown, and whether he should have taken steps to close the country down early on. But he seemed to do very well. He seemed composed, which I think his team tonight will be happy with his appearance. He spent the last year or so preparing for this, and he's had intense training, as it were, over the past week with a team of 5 or 6 lawyers as he got ready for this. But I think he did okay. He spoke about how he was always caught up in the situation. He noticed all the figures coming out of Italy, the horrors, he said, of what was going on in Italy, and felt at the end of it he had no choice but to lock down. But he did recognise the economic impact, the impact to schools as well, and he was very, very keen, obviously, that the NHS wasn't overrun. So he had to do everything at the right time, because what he didn't want to do is see the public get fatigued by locking down too early, and the public not staying with Boris Johnson and the government and just flouting lockdown rules. I think there may be a few minds to be changed, maybe the minority, but I think if you are heavily invested in this inquiry and your family has been affected, you may have lost a loved one in this. I feel like your mind has been made up, and you're not going to change that. There may be people, casual people who have got a extremely open mind, who may be looking at this and they may be swayed one more way or the other. But I feel those people in the room, those people who followed it every single step of the way, they are digging in deep, and they want to see some responsibility, and they almost want to see someone holding their hands up on this and saying that they got decisions wrong, and actually seeing this inquiry and the transparency of why they made those decisions and why they got them wrong. Yeah, when it came to Matt Hancock, it seemed that he was trying to almost stick up for him a little bit. That there wasn't too much angst towards Matt Hancock. There certainly was a little bit of a needle, if you say, about Dominic Cummings. There is no love lost between those two. But I think in the main, he didn't want to get dragged into personalities during this hearing. He just wanted to concentrate on the policies and what the decisions that he made throughout that time while he was in number 10. So I think he's not going to get into a name calling game. He's gonna stick to his line, and he's not going to get agitated by outside pressures or what's going on in that committee room, or be drawn into making accusations against people if Hugo Keith tries to draw into that. I think overall it doesn't look great for the Conservatives on the back of that, but I think in the main it really won't make too much difference. It was 18 months or so ago since Boris Johnson left office. We've had Liz Truss, we've now got Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak has been there well over a year now, and people, when they come to how they vote in a general election. They think about the cost of living crisis. They may think about other issues like immigration, NHS waiting lists. So I think lots of people have tried to put the whole situation around COVID in a box. Some people just want to forget about it. So I think in the main, it won't make a massive difference. It just adds to the noise and the 13 years of the Conservatives being in power and the country not working. People had enough of them. Partygate as well is a mainstay for Boris, and that stain of the both Partygate and the Liz Truss mini budget just won't go away from them, and that's something that Rishi Sunak can't sweep away, and he just won't be able to sweep that away at all.